Hello everybody and welcome to lesson number 4. Thank you for sticking with us, and I'm really sorry about the upload time, but I think I've realised the error of my ways and that I was selecting too high a definition. So I've tried a lower definition upload today and hopefully it'll go through quicker. Here's the list of today's ingredients for homemade fried chicken. 2 chicken thighs, 1 chicken breast, 2 cups of plain flour, salt, half a teaspoonful of pepper, 2 eggs, garlic salt, a tablespoon of paprika, dried thyme, sage and basil. I haven't got dried sage, so I've substituted oregano, ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, buttermilk. How you make it by using 1 lemon or white vinegar and 2 cups of milk. And a TSP is a teaspoon and a TBSPN is a tablespoon. Okay, ingredients today are going to be cooking oil. You need these dried ingredients, so it's I've got smoked garlic, thyme, basil, oregano, paprika, which is just a smoky background flavour, there's no heat in it. Not piment de cayenne, it's a cayenne pepper, so there's a little bit of heat in that one, and ginger, flour, 2 plastic bags, your chicken portions, as many as you want. Today Mark and I will have the thighs and breast. Mark and I will have a thigh each and some of the breast, and the other 2 will be for lunch tomorrow. Milk and a lemon. The first thing we're going to do is make buttermilk. That will take, for the recipe it needs a tablespoon of vinegar, white vinegar or lemon juice, 1 cup of milk, and 5 minutes later it's buttermilk. But I'm going to double up on the recipe because you can take half of that out and you can make scones with it when Alison does that for us. So I'm just going to, I've cut the lemons in half, the pips are in there, so I use this little squidgy thing. I don't know if you can see me now, because we noticed yesterday you had a lot of my arm in there, which wasn't a good thing. So with half a lemon, there's about 1 tablespoon. So with the other half, there'll be 2 tablespoons. Okay. Then I'm going to fish all of those out so Johnny can actually fish all of the pips out now. So Johnny can actually turn that off for a second. Okay, so I fished all the pips out. So now I'm going to put 2 cups of milk in there. We've got to use this horrible sterilised stuff, which I absolutely hate. But Johnny loves it, so I'll let him have it. I'm just going to put a half because I think that's actually too big. Right, so there you go. So 2 cups. Give it a stir around. Wait for 5 minutes and then the acid in the lemon reacts with the milk. Actually, as I'm stirring it, I can feel it getting thicker. So we leave that for 5 minutes and come back to it. Thank you. Okay, right, so the buttermilk's made now. It's been 5 minutes. It's been longer than that actually because I had a cup of tea. I'm going to pour half of it off to keep it for scones. Ali hasn't got time today, but she'll get round to it, so you will have that recipe soon. And here's the chicken. I've washed it off, patted it dry with the paper towel. I've left the skin on because, as you know, with Kentucky Fried Chicken, that homemade fried chicken, the skin's really the nicest part of it. Those on a diet shouldn't bother. So I am going to put the pieces of chicken just into the buttermilk. I'll turn them over probably in a minute. Oops-a-daisy. And with the fillet or the breast of chicken, I just slice it into pieces. Can you see that, Johnny?
Just about, Nanny.
Fanny, not Nanny, darling.
Okay. Funny, Nanny.
Okay. Okay, so then they're all going to go in as well. Oh, see what happens when I don't use my special knife, my knife of choice. So that's going to go in there as well. Oops-a-daisy. Right, then I'm going to just sort of turn them all over so that they're coated. And I'm going to leave those in for quite a while. I'm going to leave them in there for 2 hours actually. So, and then put that in the fridge, leave it in there for 2 hours, and see you later. I'm going to start prepping the chicken now. So I've got 2 plastic bags. This one has just got a cup of flour. This is the size cup I use. So it's an ordinary teacup. So there's that much flour in that bag. Then in the other bag, I've put in the garlic, dried garlic, and the paprika. That's 1 tablespoon of each of those. And I'm now going to add half a teaspoonful of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of ginger, the other cup of flour, and into the plain flour I'm adding just a little half a teaspoonful of salt. I'm not putting salt into this one because the dried garlic is garlic salt, and I'm going to add some pepper to that one. Okay, so in the plain flour I put some salt, just about a teaspoonful of salt in that one. I'm shaking the bag up just to mix the salt and the flour together. Then if you can have a look at this one please, Johnny. And in here I've also added a quarter of a teaspoonful of the oregano, basil and thyme. Then I'm going to shake this bag up as well, like so. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it's actually more of a pinkier colour because of the pimento. Thank you. Okay, beat the 2 eggs, because what's going to happen, we're going to have a bit of a process going here now. The chicken is out of the fridge already. That's been in there for 2 hours. I changed it over once in that time. That's fine. Because what I'm going to do is I'm taking it out of the buttermilk. I'm putting it into the plain flour with a spoonful of salt. Then I'm going to dip it into the egg. And then I'm dipping it into the seasoned mixture. Okay, the reason for that is that the flour will help the egg stick to the chicken, which will help the seasoning stick to the chicken. It seems a bit of a what's it, but it works, trust me. Okay, Johnny, that can go. Right, so literally I'm picking the chicken out, dropping it into the bag. I'll put three in at a time, I think. And all you do is turn it, and to become apparent why in a second, and then you shake in the bag to coat it with the flour. Open the bag out, and you fish them out. And you'll see that they're all coated with the flour. I'm going to, any bits that aren't coated, just plop it back in and pat it in. Right, they're going to go on this plate, and then I come back to the next process. So out of the buttermilk, into the flour bag, turn the bag so that it's not all over the place, shake them about. So there you've got your first coat of flour on there. Then I'm going to put in the little bits of breast, little fillets of breast, and the last piece of thigh. Bit of a mucky bit, but never mind, because you can throw the bags away. If you haven't got any plastic bags, you can actually do this on a plate just by rolling it in the plate. But I use a plastic bag because then it's less washing up, and they can just go in the bin afterwards. Right, so that's the chicken bits done now. Okay, so it's more of the same process now. So the chicken has been dipped in plain flour with a spoonful of salt. Now it's going to be dipped in the egg and then into the seasoning mixture, and I'm going to shake it in that bag. So here goes on that one. Other one. These are quite big actually, so I'm just going to do 2 in there. So turn the bag round again, yeah, and then just shake it all about to get it coated. Then you've got all of it on there, and we're going to deep fry those later on. So that's that one, and there's the next one coming out. There's the next one coming out. So now it's next ones are going into the flour. Don't be worrying that you're not going to have enough flour. I always worry that I've never got enough flour in there, but there always is enough actually. There's the next one, and that's the last. That's the last side. Then I'm putting the little bits of fillet in, so they can all go together. You'll be amazed at how much, like, you know what this is. Home fried chicken, of course that is. But when you think of the cost of those takeaway meals compared to doing it yourself, you may never go to that place again. You might only ever do them at home. So again, twist the bag round and then give it a good old shake to get it coated with the flour. That's it. As you can see, it's a messy old thing, but hands wash, so there's no problem. There's one of them. There we are. Okay, John, you can turn that off now, thank you. We're going to fry the chicken now. I've got the equivalent of a deep fat fryer, which is like an old saucepan with a basket in it. I don't need the basket for this one, but you need your oil about halfway up, and because the chicken needs to be totally immersed in it. You can do this in a wok, in a big frying pan. Just make sure that your chicken's totally immersed. The ordinary, modern deep fat fryers are fine. And the way to test if your oil's hot enough is I've popped a potato in there, which is about to come to the surface, which means that hot's fine for the chicken. Now the oil does have to be hot. Please be careful when you're putting your chicken in, and I would do these probably 3 at a time. So first piece of chicken's going in now. And it goes. You can see it bubbling away. I'm going to see if I can get 3 in. Don't overcrowd the pan, but yeah, I've got 3 in. So that's 3 of the thighs in there now. And I'm actually going to time them, because really I want them cooking for about 10 minutes. What I've done as well is I've put my oven on to 180, because we're going to let them have 10 minutes in the oven as well on a tray. Just get my proper thingy to, I don't want them to stick to the bottom, so I'm just going to move them about a bit just to make sure they're not stuck. Okay, thank you, Johnny. So there's the first 3 out, looking exactly like that world famous home fried chicken. The last one is in with the breast fillet, so they'll be out quite soon. Then I'm going to put them into the oven for 10 minutes just to make sure they're absolutely cooked through. I have a horror of undercooked chicken and salmonella, etc. I'm lucky enough to have free-range chicken because there's somebody in the village who actually grows them. So that's the chicken. And tonight we're going to have the chips. Mark likes them really skinny, and we're going to have barbecued beans, and all it is literally, I'm going to use half of that can today for us for dinner, and it's a splosh of barbecue sauce in there. The other half I'll do for lunch for beans on toast tomorrow. More later. I forgot to tell you, wash your potato if you're going to do chips beforehand. And yes, you've guessed it, save your peelings to add to the bag in your freezer for vegetable stock at the end of the week. All done now, so I'm going to go into the oven for 10 minutes to finish them off, and then we can eat those later. I thought you might like to see what they're like in the middle, so there's one I've just cut in half. Nice and juicy. There are the baked beans in the pan, and here's the splodge of barbecue sauce going in. You only need about a tablespoon. I'm trying to finish off all the stuff in my fridge, so that's why I'm on the last knockings of this one. Stir it in, and then you've got barbecue beans. There's Mark's barbecue beans, home fried chicken with chips, and I'm having a little salad. And I'm having a few chips, not many, and a little drizzle of beans because I'm not too fond of them. And I've got the remains of the tzatziki from the Kef Teddies of day 2. So I'm going to really tuck into that now.